a little bit of planning up front can save you frustration and actually fatigue. It doesn't have to be complicated. So we don't need color-coded containers or, all these things, although I love that. If that's you, come do that for me. But it doesn't have to be all pretty and cute like that. It can just be a simple rotation of go-to meals that work for your body and your hormones for your real life. Gaining belly fat in perimenopause and menopause, even while eating trim healthy and doing all the right things. Feeling exhausted, inflamed, and so done with the scale? Hey, I'm Chris Honeycutt, Jesus follower, trim healthy coach, and your midlife hype girl. I believe God didn't design you to live stuck, bloated, or burned out. This podcast helps you partner with your hormones, ditch the belly fat, and finally feel strong, calm, and confident in a body you actually enjoy living in. Hey friend, before we jump into today's episode, I've got good news that's too good to wait for the end. My Black Friday flash sale is officially open. You can now grab 31 days of Fitmas for just $31, a full month of 20 to 30 minute workouts, daily coaching emails, and my pre-post workout fueling guide to help you stay strong and consistent all December long. And if you've been waiting for the right time to join my signature program, this is it. The Midlife Fat Loss Formula is $400 off right now. It is 6 months of coaching, accountability, and a plan that finally works with your hormones and not against them. These are the biggest deals I offer all year, and they're only available through December 1st. So go to getyourtrimon.com to grab your spot or get on my email list for all the details and reminders before the sale ends. All right, let's get into today's show and let me show you how to finish this year strong. This is Coach Chris, and I am here today hopefully going to equip you for the holidays. This is November, so we are talking about November and December strategies so that we can get through the holidays, not just trying to get things done and afraid that we're going to go off plan and feeling stressed and don't know what to do and don't know how to show up for ourselves. We want to have purpose. We want to have a sane holiday. We want to pursue peace. And so one way we can do that is by preparing for ourselves. So this is what we're going to be talking about today is meal prep throughout these holiday time, or actually throughout the week previous to the holiday, and what we can do to set yourself up for success. I know we all want a successful holiday season. They're coming fast. And for many of us, this is kind of when the wheels start falling off. Between all the travel, the gatherings, and all the things, it really is kind of hard to meal prep in your brain is like, oh my gosh, how can I actually do this with all these things on my plate? And especially when our hormones and metabolism need stability the most. And at this point in time in our life, in midlife, our hormones actually drive a lot of our emotions and our energy levels. And sometimes we just don't want to show up. We have low energy. Sometimes we are not wanting to do the things that we used to do. And there is a reason for that, sisters, and that is because our hormones drive a lot of our mood and energy. And when we don't have our hormones or our hormones are declining, it can really affect the way that we show up for ourselves. And the holidays can get us sometimes because during these times, there can be some sad things that are going on. There can be some memories that pop up. And so having grace for yourself is huge, but that doesn't mean telling ourselves excuses. You want to look at your bandwidth in this season. You may not be on it in all ways, but there are some things that you can do. And so I'm going to give you a list of things that you can do. I'm going to help you prepare for the holiday. You may not be doing all these things, but what if you take some of these things and you implement these things for yourself so that you can show up, in peace and not panic, that you can have healthy choices ready for yourself so you don't have to grab that off-plan thing. And these things don't take a lot of extra time. They take a little bit of effort and they take some thinking ahead, maybe a little system here and there. But once you get these things in place, you can rinse and repeat. So in this episode, I'm going to share how to create a trim healthy holiday meal prep rhythm that keeps your metabolism steady and your blood sugar balanced and your peace intact. Because this time of year, ladies, it is not about perfection. It is about resilience. That means getting stronger, one choice at a time. So you're going to walk away with a meal prep rotation. You will walk away with tips, with freezer staple ideas, with ways to keep your blood sugar stable and feel nourished without losing that trim healthy groove. So let's dig in. Let's see what this is going to look like. One of the biggest barriers to staying on plan during the holiday season is, I think, the busyness and the overwhelm and the amount of work that needs to be done, and especially our mindset and where we're letting our mind go about all of this. So let's just kind of reframe meal prep in our brain. Sometimes you're like, oh my God, I can't prep. It's too many hours in the kitchen. It actually doesn't have to be. So let's just say meal prep equals calm. That's what we're going to say. Meal prep equals calm. When I think meal prep now, I'm going to be like, oh, yeah, you know what? Because there's going to be something ready for me in the future to eat. I'm going to be so thankful. It's going to be calm. Let's just choose that. You know, when our hormones, when estrogen and progesterone shift, so does our blood sugar and so does our cortisol. And so this means that our body really is maybe a little challenged in the season, and your body wants to thrive on rhythm. It will thrive, I should say. It will thrive on rhythm. When it feels so kind of back and forth or up and down, we want to give your body and your brain, we want to give it some rhythm. We want to give it some flow. Doesn't that sound good? Just remember when you're in the flow, that feels so good when we're in our flow. And that's what we want to pursue. Where is the flow? And let's come up with some ways to get in the flow. So that's going to mean some consistent meals, some steady protein, and fiber-rich plants. That's just what it comes down to, honestly, is protein, plants, which have fiber in them, protein, plants, and then are we going to have a carbohydrate-based meal or a fat-based meal? Or are we going to put those together and have a crossover? Super simple. It does not have to be any harder than that. So if you wait until you're starving between errands and events, you are going, first of all, you're going to reach out for whatever is fast, and it's probably not going to be the best fuel for you. So a little bit of planning up front can save you frustration and actually fatigue. It doesn't have to be complicated. So we don't need color-coded containers or, all these things, although I love that. If that's you, come do that for me. But it doesn't have to be all pretty and cute like that. It can just be a simple rotation of go-to meals that work for your body and your hormones for your real life. So let's talk about fast fuel framework. This is just a framework that I'm going to throw out there. It is my way of staying on plan through the busy seasons, the holidays, without the overwhelm. So here's what I do is pick 3 or 4 meal templates for the week. So one is going to be from my S, one is going to be from an E standpoint, the other is going to be crossover, and the other is snacks. That's what I'm going to be pulling from here. And these are some of the ideas that I come up with when I am thinking about getting a list of meals for me and my family. When I'm looking at those S meals, usually we are having an S meal, or that's our fat-based meal with carbohydrates and non-starchy veggies at our dinner time. So I'm going to pick the 3 or 4 things that I know my family is going to like, and I'm going to think about it ahead of time, and I'm going to do something like this. I'm going to look at my week, and I'm going to say, you know what? Monday night is going to be my Italian night, and Tuesday night is my taco night. And so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cook up a bunch of ground beef, either on Sunday or even on Monday, and I'm going to cut it in half, and I'm going to use some for my Italian-based meal. I'm going to make some spaghetti over Dreamfield noodles or over zoodles or over spaghetti squash and salad and sourdough bread for me and the family. And then on the other night that I'm going to be doing tacos, I'm going to take that ground beef and I'm going to put taco seasoning and we're going to have taco bowls. How easy is that? I've got that ground beef going on there. Another night, we are going to do chicken. And I'm going to take chicken, I'm going to cook that chicken up, and I'm going to cut it in half. And one night, we are going to have white wicked chili soup. And then the other, I'm just going to keep that, sort of open so we can throw it on salads. And I can make that a light S for the family. How easy is that? I just picked 3 or 4, and I'm going to plug that in. Super easy. For my e-meals, I pick 2 e-sources each week, and I make those ahead of time, and I keep those in the fridge for an easy pull out. So say we are having egg roll in a bowl. It's a fuel pull, egg roll in a bowl, and I have brown rice in the fridge. I'm going to throw that egg roll in a bowl on my brown rice, and that's going to be my e-meal. I'm probably going to throw some berries on the side. I might even have a little salad or something like that. Very easy. It's already there in the fridge. Or maybe you get some frozen brown rice. I can get some from Trader Joe's, keep it in my freezer. My favorite is Japanese sweet potatoes, so I'll make some of those up and have those in the fridge. Like last night, super easy. I had salmon and some Japanese sweet potatoes, and I made this really yummy salad to go with it. Super easy. Took me 20 minutes because I had those already made up. So I'm picking 2. So I'm picking the 3 or 4 meals already ahead of time. I'm picking the 2 e-sources. And now I'm going to make sure I've got my 2 veggies. Yes, either salad or stir fry, or roasted vegetables or chopped salad. Super easy. Those veggies are there. I can pull them out for dinner. I can pull them out for breakfast with eggs. I can pull them out with lunch. Super easy. Lastly, I like to go ahead and decide what snacks that I am going to have for the week. Am I going to be on the go or am I going to be at home? What are those 3 or 4 or 5 snacks? List those out. Make sure you have them. Have a grab bag for yourself. If I'm going to be out for the day, I've got a chomp stick. I usually will throw an apple in there. I've got some sprouted sunflower seeds in a baggie. I usually put all that together. Sometimes I will make a kefir smoothie and have that in the fridge. Like I have one in the fridge today. I can just pull that out, put that in an insulated cup and go. Super easy to have those things on hand. I don't have to stop anywhere. But say I get caught out and I do have to stop. What are we going to do? Even now at gas stations and grocery stores, you can go and get some hard-boiled eggs. You can go and get some nuts and seeds. I love getting the nuts and seeds. And we can go a little bit overboard on that, but what a much better choice than chips, right? So we're just going to keep it super simple. These recipes you can repeat. Maybe repeat the same recipes for a couple of weeks so that you don't have to think about it. We're in holiday season. Usually on that Thanksgiving week, that week is going to be very different. We want to get ourselves ready for that. So next, let's talk about what we're going to make ahead of time if you can. If you've got some time, let's prep our protein. Let's have protein that you have already cooked and it's either in the fridge or in the freezer that you can pull out. I love that. Then how about, here's an idea. When you're in the kitchen making your taco night, why don't you make another meal that night that you can freeze? What if you, at the same time, had thawed out some chicken or whatever meat that you like, and you put together wipe your mouth barbecue sauce, and you get that chicken and you throw it in a Ziploc baggie and you put it in the freezer. Thaw out chicken, whip up the wipe your mouth barbecue, Ziploc baggie, freezer. How awesome is that? Super easy to do that. What if you made some cowboy grub or you made trim train taco? Now, trim train taco makes so much, right? So why don't you freeze half of it? You can freeze them in individual sizes. You can freeze them in, bigger sizes. It's just easy. Like this week, if I go, you know what? While I'm already in the kitchen and I've already prepped this protein, I've already prepped this veggie in my e-meals, basically, I'm just going to go ahead and throw together this other recipe. So it's super easy to cook once and then either freeze and eat on that throughout really the week or the month. The other thing that I think is fantastic during holiday, I will use my crock pot, 2 to 3, 4 times a week. I just pick a recipe, I dump everything in there, and I turn it on. How awesome is that? Last week, I did a taco soup. I actually just made up the recipe, but there's lots of them out there. Taco soup, dumping it in the crock pot. The second day, I did a whole chicken, and I did some roasted vegetables in there. And then the third day, I had a roast in there all day long. How easy it was for me to come home and just throw some other, as my mom would say, accoutrements, other things along with it. Because guess what? I've got my sweet potatoes or brown rice in the fridge, or I have salad and veggies already cut up. Super easy, super sane. Quick break, because I don't want you to miss this. My Black Friday flash sale is happening right now, and you can save big. 31 days of fitness for just $31. Midlife fat loss formula, $400 off my 6-month coaching group. Both programs are designed to help you stay consistent, balanced, and strong through the holidays and head into January already ahead. So go to getyourtrimon.com to grab your spot and or get on the email list for updates before the sale ends December 1st. All right, back to the episode. Let's talk about your goal this season, to show up for yourself, to decide what is it that you want to create. Do you want peace? If you want to create peace, then we want to get a plan of action. Take one or two of those things and put that down in your calendar. Put that down on your paper to do. One thing too is the idea of not eating all day and then to eat like for Thanksgiving. Like my kids or somebody used to do this. Like they'd be like, I'm not going to eat all day long so I can just eat. No, we do not want to do that. We want to fuel smart, ladies. Your body will thank you for that. Your blood sugar will thank you for that. So let's go ahead. Let's have our meals, okay, with protein and fiber. Yes, protein and fiber. Let's have that, at least that. And then let's add some of our E, carbohydrate-based fuel, and or our S, and or crossover. Let's have our 3 meals. Let's plan what that Thanksgiving is going to look like. For us, our Thanksgiving is at 1 o'clock. So I'm going to get up in the morning. I'm going to have a protein-strong breakfast. I'm going to hydrate, and I will probably have essentials mid-morning, and then we will be having our meal at 1. We will go for a walk and probably not eat again until 7, and I'm going to do a light dinner. I've already decided I'm going to have a very big lunch or, adequate. In the evening time, I'm going to throw turkey on salad, and I'm going to have some lighter fare foods. That is the plan. So we don't have to skip meals. Let's fuel smart. The other thing is, let's stay hydrated. It makes a huge deal if you can stay hydrated. So get those sippers in or your tea. And let's just talk, before we wrap things up, I like to think about how can you invite the Holy Spirit into even your meal prep. How can you partner with the Lord and the grace He's given you in your life to get prepared for yourself? What can we do to do that? I do not want to just go off in my own mind, in my own strength, making my own plans without surrendering it to Him. So maybe before you even do any of this, you go before Him and you say, you know what, Lord, I am surrendering this to you, and I want to partner with you. I want to find your peace in the middle of all this food prep. I want to find your joy. I want to be grateful for this amazing food that you've given me, this amazing body that you've given me, and even asking God to multiply your efforts. What if you just went by faith and say, hey, will you multiply my efforts? He loves. Remember about the loaves and the fish. I think about that a lot. Trusting that He can actually do that for you. So the whole meal prep thing, I know that can bring up a lot of negativity in your brain, but it really doesn't have to. Remember, now we're going, oh, no, that's calm. Meal prep equals calm. It's not about being perfect, and it's not about spending hours and hours in the kitchen. It's finding your flow. So that's what I encourage you to do, is to find the peace, is to find the flow. Go back and make a list of 2 or 3 things that you can prep for yourself that will make this holiday season easier, that will help you show up for yourself, and that will just really help you enter into peace. That is really where we want to go, is we want to be pursuing our peace so that we can have a successful holiday, so that we can connect with others and ourselves and our family and all the things that God has called us to during this festive time. So I encourage you to Write down 2 or 3 things that you can do for yourself and then do them. Do them, my friend. Don't just leave them on the paper, but actually schedule them into your day. Hey friend, I don't want you to coast through December and lose your momentum. This year, I'm inviting you to join me for 31 Days of Fitness, a month of movement designed for the midlife woman who wants to stay consistent, strong, and stress-free through the holidays. These are short, doable workouts that help you move with intention so you can keep your energy up, support your hormones, and head into January already feeling confident instead of starting over. No guilt, no all or nothing, just simple daily movement to keep your metabolism fired up and your sanity intact. Want in? Make sure you're on my email list to get the sign-up link and all the fitness goodies delivered straight to your inbox. You can join me at chris@getyourtrimon.com because this December, we're not just surviving the holidays, we are thriving through them.